Welcome to the Prime8 News channel, where we are looking at creatures that are known to invade houses. If you thought you were safe indoors from what lives outside, think again. A house in need of repairs looks no different to a creature than a campsite in the woods. Your basement, open garage, or any cracks and openings 1 centimetre or larger may be more welcoming than any burrow or nook outdoors, especially when it's hot and muggy. Fortunately, with careful inspection and a little bit of effort, you can turn your place into an impenetrable fortress, but until then, depending on where you are in the world, these home invaders where some people live may surprise you. The eastern diamond rattlesnake aren't known for being the most aggressive rattlers on the block, but at 7 feet long, they're certainly the biggest and the most venomous in the United States, with bites that cause spontaneous bleeding, hypertension, and swelling that can lead to cardiac arrest. When threatened, they can strike a distance at least 1/3 of their length and sink their fangs into your flesh repeatedly, often without rattling, to give you fair warning to run. Scorpions are not just desert dwellers. They're scattered throughout the southern half of the United States, mainly west of the Mississippi River. If their territory is disrupted, they'll make themselves right at home in a folded pile of fresh laundry, or worse, inside your shoes or between your sheets. Scream at the top of your lungs, and these expert danger-sensing predators will sting, causing intense pain, tenderness and tingling at the wound site. Though few species are dangerously toxic to humans, small children are particularly susceptible to the scorpion's venom, and untreated stings can lead to death by heart or respiratory failure. Unwanted but not uncommon house guests, due to their size at less than 8 millimeters at their longest, are black widows that build their loose, haphazard webs in dark places, the corners of rooms, under couches, and in basements or garages. Look out for adult females. Brush up against the web in the wrong way, and they'll bite, leaving behind a trail of cramping, nausea, respiratory pain, and possible paralysis at your expense. Do you like seeing a mouse scurrying across the floor and finding the only lifestyle evidence of its visit in the corner of your garage, a pile of droppings? Remember that you're not dealing with any cartoon mouse here. Mice infected with hantavirus will excrete deadly hantavirus in their waste, and exposure comes through breathing contaminated dust while cleaning or discarding it. Once infected by the virus, flu-like symptoms progress into fluid-filled lungs, and 1 out of every 3 people afflicted will die of respiratory failure. Sick, rabid bats won't think twice about entering your home, because like other rabid animals, they display decreased wariness around people. One's probably already turned up in your attic into a makeshift cave and is waiting patiently to bring with it its infectious saliva-laden bite when you take it by surprise. Things get tricky and deadly if you don't seek immediate testing and treatment. Emerging from their winter slumber, bears are especially hungry after this period and are not above searching your garden, rubbish bins, compost pile, or bird feeders for a meal. They'll even stroll right into the house if the smell of food is strong and access is easy. Sure, they prefer to avoid contact with humans, but get in the way of one raiding your food cupboards, and he could charge at you and maul you with nasty consequences. Found in Texas, California and other parts of the southwest United States, Africanized honeybees are slightly smaller than their European cousins, but far more hostile. Known to unprovoked attacks in response to disturbances up to 15 meters away from their nest, a swarm could fly into your home through an open window or door just because they don't like the sound of your radio or power tools. Running is the recommended defense, but unless you're an Olympic sprinter, that may not be enough to save you. The swarm will fly in hot pursuit for a quarter of a mile, catch up with you and begin stinging in great numbers, which can be fatal to someone with allergies or pre-existing health problems. Stachybotrys mold is not a creature gone crazy infiltrating your house, but this particular species of mold, a greenish-black slime fond of growing on wood, produces airborne myotoxins, suspected in a group of infant fatalities in the United States some 13 years ago. Though this link to the infant's bleeding lungs was never conclusive, Stachybotrys myotoxins do travel through ducts and have caused difficulty breathing, nasal stiffness, and eye and skin irritation when inhaled. Thank you for joining us here on the channel, and please do check out our other content, especially if you found this episode entertaining.